This video is brought to you by
Cool green clothing coming straight up out of that DMV. You know what it is. This that Baltimore designer right here. Come on now, come and show some love and show some support. Go online right now, coolgreenclothing.com, and make your purchase. Oh yeah, by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, definitely share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. When you are a young man or a woman coming straight out of high school or college, the world seems to be at your feet. Opportunities could be endless. If you put yourself in the right environment, work hard, stay ambitious, and do the right things. Around about 19 to 25 years old, that's the I'm still figuring things out stage. You are just entering the adult world. For most, it's time to venture out on your own, get your first place to stay, pay bills, find a job or career so you can maintain and navigate life. Depending on your background or where you come from, everyone looks at the world in a different way. Some know it's a lot of wild things going on and wild people out there. But you figure, long as I stay to myself, do what I'm supposed to do, I should be fine. And others choose to be more optimistic. They feel like evil in the world is all in people's minds. They choose to love everyone and navigate this world with an open heart. We are all taught, if you do everything the right way, go to school, get a proper education, don't follow the crowd, be your own person, work hard, and always grind for more, that's the keys to be successful. Once you do all those things and set yourself up to succeed, you think to yourself, I got this. I understand this life thing and I'm in cruise control. But we never sit back and think that someone else's problems and issues could affect our emotion or quality of life until a situation or event happens that shows us evil definitely exists. And even you being a shining light could trigger the darkness in other people. And sometimes when two people's worlds collide, the outcome could be fatal. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll discuss a case of a man's life cut short, all because of a paranoid neighbor. Back in 2019, 22-year-old Tariq Hudson, nicknamed by family and friends TJ, was the prime example of an upstanding young man. Tariq had always been smart growing up, but as he hit the books more and got older, it seemed the young man was well beyond smart and was gifted. Things came easy to him in school, even finishing high school a year early after attending Wilson Early College Academy in Wilson, North Carolina, his hometown. The school was for high school and college students who wanted to challenge themselves and possibly earn more credits to graduate early. Tariq just didn't finish high school a year early. He left with an associate's degree after taking college classes while technically still being in high school. After that, the young man entered North Carolina A&T and majored in software engineering, in which he also graduated early with another degree. Now 22 years old with multiple degrees, no kids, and the world at his feet, the young man would start applying for jobs. He would get a hit of an opportunity for a great career, being a computer engineer at a company in Maryland. Excited, the young man decided it was time to leave his hometown and get out there on his own. He rented an apartment at Colonial Square in Glen Burnie, Maryland, at a decent location with just enough space for him. Now with a great career, his own spot, and a new state, it seemed Tariq had begun to set himself up for a picture-perfect future. The apartment complex seemed cool. The young man didn't know anyone in the area, so he spent time talking to family back home, playing video games, watching movies, or spending time at church, which was a big part of his life. Almost 8 months after being at his new job and apartment, Tyreek would have a bizarre encounter with a man that lived directly upstairs from him. 53-year-old James Vermoback. James had been living in the building for a minute, but no one really knew much about him. In fact, after 8 months, this was the first time Tyreek saw the man at all. James looked at Tyreek with a serious face, used his thumb to slide across his throat in a threatening motion, and stated to the young man, "You know what you did, your days are numbered." Confused and not taking the threat lightly, Tyreek knew he needed to take action. He went to the courthouse in Anne Arundel County and told a judge about the encounter with his neighbor. He stated he would like a peace order after his neighbor made death threats towards him. The judge didn't take the situation serious at all, and in February 2019, the order was denied. But little did anyone know, James was thrown off. He had a past history of mental health issues. In one situation, he walked in a local hospital with a shotgun and threatened to shoot everyone, then take himself out, and also threatened to go to war with the police. In another situation, James violated a protective order that his ex-wife took out on him after only being married for a brief period of time, stating she was afraid for her life after he made many threats towards her. Despite multiple situations, he was able to move on with his life, get a job as a groundskeeper with the local school district in the apartment, leaving James flying under the radar. But it seemed he was having paranoia though. In his mind, Tyreek had been spying on him in his apartment for months, using hidden cameras, and he feared the young man had caught him in some of his most vulnerable moments, watching S-rated movies. By this time, Tyreek was scared, feeling something was off about James, and now that his protective order was denied due to lack of evidence, he went to the leasing office to speak to the manager, asking them could he move apartments or get out his lease all around the board so he could move due to the threats, in which they responded no to both of his questions. Feeling like a prisoner in his own home, scared to leave out other than working back, it seemed the young man's hands were tied. James took Tyreek's request from help from the court and apartment complex as war and went to file his own order against the young man, accusing him of spying on him, but that was quickly brushed off. Clearly suffering from serious issues, James decided he would take matters into his own hands. On April 15th, 2019, a few weeks after his peace order was denied, Tyreek got up like any normal day and got ready for work. As he left his apartment, James came out of his, shotgun in hand, and let off shots, striking Tyreek in the chest. Other tenants that heard the blast came out of their units as well, to James threatening everyone, claiming they were all next. Someone called police and they responded to the complex. They found Tyreek suffering from one gunshot wound to the chest. He would unfortunately pass away at the scene at just 22 years old. Special police units came to evacuate tenants after hearing the suspect was a neighbor, but James had locked himself in his apartment to have a standoff with police, claiming he wasn't going out without a fight. Many tactics were used to get James to come out, but nothing seemed to work. After about 9 hours, a SWAT team hit the unit and found James laying on his stomach with a shotgun under him. He was taken into custody, charged with first-degree hit, weapon charges, and making threats to the other residents. After news got out, the young man, who was described as a whiz kid, lost his life for nothing. Outrage poured in from the community. As a vigil was held for Tyreek, many people showed up, friends, co-workers, and family, to show love to the young man. But his mother was devastated. She explained how TJ always wanted to do the right thing. He never even had a fist fight, saw the good in everyone, and focused all his attention on hitting the books and making a better life for himself. She was upset with the judge who denied the order and the apartment complex, stating her son told everyone James was going to snap. After seeing the look on his face and after hearing the threats he made, she showed off all the young man's accomplishments and felt he was robbed of doing so much more after his life was stolen. Once the community realized a judge basically brushed off the situation, a petition was started to get her off the bench. Originally a Baltimore City judge, filling in Anne Arundel County, before anything could go into effect, she stepped down after being accused of other neglectful cases and disrespecting her colleagues. Tyreek's mother also filed a $30 million lawsuit against the complex for allegedly knowing James' background of mental issues, knowing he possibly had weapons and had made threats to other people. As the case started making its way to trial, James never denied what he did, but he stated he had been dealing with paranoia since he was young. After being evaluated, it was found he had schizoaffective and bipolar disorder. He pleaded guilty to all charges, but he also claimed to not be criminally responsible due to mental health. James avoided jail time and instead was sent to a mental health institution. Rest in peace to Tyreek. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. I'm not sure if his mother won a lawsuit or not, but to accomplish all those things at just 22 years old, it was clear he was destined for greatness. To move somewhere, to start a life, to be targeted by your neighbor is just wicked. I know mental health is a real thing, but it seemed James focused in directly on Tyreek. It seemed his light irritated whatever spirit was operating in him. A lot of this story seemed unfair in a lot of ways. You never think, after doing everything the world considers right, not being in the streets, focusing on school and a career to be a great young man, you would lose your life to a throwed off neighbor. But I'm going to leave this one open for discussion. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation in the comments. Yeah, man. Messed up situation. Rest in peace to that young man. But I ain't going to talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. This your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.